The truth never fades, and faith never fails. WMCA Muscleheads. Call 1-800-345-WMCA. That's 1-800-345-9622.
WMCA 570, Kevin McCullough. Glad you're with us each weekday on the Musclehead Revolution. And you've heard me talk about Young America's Foundation in raving terms because I believe they're one of the most important organizations teaching our young people conservative, even biblically based, conscious, constitutional ideas in America today. There's not very many organizations that even attempt to do what they're doing, and no one is succeeding on the level that they are. They are in the midst of a very important conference down in Washington, D.C. I've broadcast from this conference in years past, and I have a very close relationship with YAF, and I'm grateful for that. But I want to bring in Jason Mattera, who is a spokesperson for Young America's Foundation, because there is a bit of news that has surrounded today's sessions. Jason, welcome back to the Musclehead Revolution.
Thank you, Kevin. It's always a pleasure to be on your program.
Appreciate that. Few headlines on the blogs today. Some controversy surrounding. Now you're in the midst of your summer conference, which is the student conference, which is basically college-age kids from around the country. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
And what happened to generate this controversy?
We have Robert Spencer speaking later this afternoon. We have him every year. He usually talks about Islam, some of the topics of his book, The Truth About Muhammad. And this year we have him talking about CAIR, the Council on American-Islamic Relations, and how they have a shady past, there's connections to terrorism, and how they claim to represent Islamic thought, yet they never, ever denounce terrorist organizations such as Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yeah, in fact, Jason, I've said this on my show, and I think I've said it on my blog and maybe even in my column before, but one thing that my listeners can count on CAIR, it's almost as regulated as clockwork. If there is a questionable Muslim who has interests versus the interests of the American people, CAIR will always side against the American people. And the fact that they even have American in their name is kind of an insult to decent Americans and to patriotic American Muslims across the country.
Absolutely. The juicy part is that CAIR faxed this over a letter, actually one of CAIR's lawyers, and they said in this letter, legal document, that they demand we cancel Robert Spencer's talk. They demand, that was an exact quote, not that can we provide an alternative view to Robert Spencer, can we hand out material, we respectfully disagree, but they demanded we cancel Robert Spencer's talk. Obviously, we are very familiar with CAIR's bullying tactics. They go after conservative commentators all the time, but it doesn't work. These intimidation tactics don't work. We told them basically to go take a hike. We don't care what they think. This is America. We're ruled by not ruled, but we follow the Bill of Rights. We should highlight to them the First and probably the Second Amendment. This is not Sharia law.
Yeah.
So they have to get over it. Offensive views, if they don't like it, disagreeable views can't be banned. But I mean, that's what the hype is about. They want us to censor our own speaker.
Well, the long story short, the National Student Conference, which we gave some scholarships to earlier in the spring, and I think we have a few students down there, is taking place in D.C. this afternoon. Robert Spencer, one of the most authoritative speakers on the issue of Islam and terrorism and the threat to national security that extremist Islam brings, has attempted to be, has demanded to be canceled by the CAIR organization. They have also kind of slandered him in the letter, Jason. They say that he makes false defamatory statements. They don't supply any evidence of that. They never do. They just say, shut these people down. And I want people to go to the YAF.org website, read the letter for themselves, and then I want them to make a contribution to the Young America's Foundation today in support of what you guys are doing to help young people and as a sign to CAIR that they can't get away with this. So if people are listening, YAF.org, go to the website, make a contribution to Young America's. It's an incredible organization, and we need to help stand with them in this time of controversy. And I'm sure that this will bubble up even further, Jason. CAIR seems to be one of those organizations that does not get the message that Americans are tired of terrorism, and we want to deal with this threat in a rational and reasonable way.
Absolutely. I want to personally thank CAIR for the publicity. They've created a buzz surrounding our conference and opened it up to hundreds of thousands of people, and we're able to talk about it on your show, and I always appreciate that and your advocacy for Judeo-Christian values. But CAIR is run by a bunch of Islamic radical thugs who want to stifle rather than encourage freedom of expression and speech.
Yeah. Well, friends, please do what you can to help YAF. Jason, always good to talk to you. I know that you're in the middle of a busy conference. Thanks for taking time out to talk to us, and keep us posted as to what happens. We want to follow this story closely.
Yes, we'll do, Kevin, and thank you for all you do for Young America's Foundation and the conservative movement.
My pleasure. Jason Mattera, WMCA 570 with Kevin McCullough here on The Kevin McCullough Show.